Ever pondered over the concept of stakeholder capitalism and its implications on our global economy? Well, let's dive in. Stakeholder capitalism is an economic system where companies are oriented towards serving the interests of all their stakeholders. These stakeholders include employees, customers, suppliers, local communities, and of course, shareholders. This is a shift from the traditional capitalism model, which primarily focuses on the interests of shareholders. Now, you might be wondering, who is championing this new economic model? Enter Klaus Schwab. As the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, Schwab has been a vocal advocate for stakeholder capitalism. In his interviews, he often elaborates on the need for businesses to create long-term value for all their stakeholders, not just the shareholders. This, he believes, is the future of capitalism. As Klaus Schwab puts it, stakeholder capitalism is about creating long-term value for all. This is where our journey begins, at the intersection of economics, society, and the future of business. How does stakeholder capitalism compare with the Cultural Revolution in China? Let's dive right in. Stakeholder capitalism, as promoted by Klaus Schwab, is grounded in the belief that businesses should serve all their stakeholders, including employees, customers, communities, and the environment, not just their shareholders. This approach underscores the notion that businesses have a social responsibility and that their success should be measured beyond financial gain. Now, contrast this with the Cultural Revolution in China. This was a socio-political movement from the mid-1960s to the mid-1970s, led by Mao Zedong. Its goal was to preserve true communist ideology by purging remnants of capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society. This involved a radical redistribution of wealth and power, often leading to violent class struggle. So, what's the common ground here? Both stakeholder capitalism and the Cultural Revolution emphasize societal welfare and a redistribution of wealth. However, the similarities largely stop there. Stakeholder capitalism, as Schwab envisions it, is a voluntary shift in corporate behavior driven by enlightened self-interest. It doesn't involve the violent upheaval that characterized the Cultural Revolution. Moreover, stakeholder capitalism operates within the framework of a market economy, while the Cultural Revolution sought to dismantle such structures. While both stakeholder capitalism and the Cultural Revolution seek to address societal inequities, their approaches and potential implications are markedly different. What could stakeholder capitalism mean for the world economy? Venturing into the realm of stakeholder capitalism, we find ourselves in uncharted waters. This new economic model, championed by the likes of Klaus Schwab, has the potential to redefine the very fabric of our economies. On one hand, we see the promise of increased corporate responsibility. Stakeholder capitalism encourages companies to consider not just their shareholders, but also their employees, the environment, and society at large. This could lead to more sustainable business practices and a more equitable distribution of wealth. It's a world where the success of a business is measured not just by the size of its profit, but also by the positive impact it has on the world. However, like any seismic shift, stakeholder capitalism may also bring disruption. Traditional economic systems could be upended with unforeseen consequences. Critics argue it could lead to an overreach of corporate power, where businesses become the de facto policymakers, deciding what's best for society based on their own interests. There's also the question of feasibility. Can businesses truly serve multiple stakeholders without compromising their own survival? Can they balance the demands of profit with the needs of people and the planet? Whether stakeholder capitalism will prove to be a boon or a bane for the world economy remains to be seen. Thus, what does stakeholder capitalism mean for the world of cryptocurrency? As we venture into this question, let's consider the thoughts of Klaus Schwab and other experts. The rise of stakeholder capitalism could bring about increased regulation of cryptocurrencies. This is because, under this model, businesses are held accountable not just to shareholders, but to all stakeholders, including the wider community and regulatory bodies. This might translate to more stringent oversight of cryptocurrencies to ensure they align with societal goals, protect users, and maintain financial stability. Furthermore, in a stakeholder-focused economy, cryptocurrencies could play a significant role. They can offer a decentralized, transparent, and potentially more equitable financial system, catering to a broader spectrum of stakeholders. This ensures that the benefits of financial growth are not just confined to a select few, but are shared more widely. In a world where stakeholder capitalism takes precedence, the future of cryptocurrencies may be redefined. But as with all things, only time will tell.